Okay, let's take a look at how to do the sample size by hand. This one's asking us to how many days should we select the survey. So it's no longer asking for confidence interval, but how many. So that says referring to the sample size. Before we really begin, this is our formula for sample size. We have n is equal to z alpha divided by 2, that's just like a z value, times sigma. Sigma is your population standard deviation, or it could be amount from a previous study. And then E is our desired margin of error. So we've got three things we've got to find for this. So let's go ahead and write that down. And let me get my tablet up here. Okay, we need Z, we need sigma, and we need E. Now, get back there. It says sociologist wishes to estimate the average number of automobile thefts in large city per day within 4 automobiles. So the within is always your margin of error. So telling us that E is 4. And he wishes to be 95% confident. So we're looking for 95% confidence. We'll come back to that. And from previous studies, standard deviation was found to be 4.8. So that'll be our sigma. Sigma is either your population standard deviation or the amount from a previous study. Okay. 95% confidence. We draw our picture and we split it up in this manner. Always two tails. We put 95% in the middle. Now all of it adds up to 100%. So if we put 95% in the middle, we're going to put 5% in our tails. 5% in decimal form is 0.05. If you put this in your calculator, 0.05 divided by 2 gives you 0.025. And this is what we're trying to find right here. This is our z alpha divided by 2. So I add up all the area to the left. 0.025 plus 0.95 is 0.975. So I'm going to look up 0.975 in my table. Now we look in the middle here. Before we use the top and we use the side, here we look for the value in the middle. And in some cases you won't find the exact value. Go whichever one's closest. So 0.975 is right here. And you come over here, that's 1.9. And if we come up, that gives me 0.06 from 100th place. So it'd be 1.96. Now, let me go ahead and write that down. 1.96. There we go. Now for our formula. Formula is this. So we're just going to plug in our values. And although it isn't written here, whenever you're doing sample size, you should always round up. That ensures you got enough in your sample. So our formula says n is equal to z alpha divided by 2 times sigma divided by e squared. So z is 1.96 times 4.8 divided by e, which is 4, squared. Now let me get something to put this into. 1.96 times 4.8 divided by 4 squared. I get 5.53. That's right here. 5319. You always round up. No matter what your decimal place is, you always go up the next number, which is 6. Now, if you did this on the spreadsheet, that's the same value we came up with when you were using the spreadsheet here. Even if you like doing things by hand, again, do it in Excel also so you can compare the results. See if you got any kind of mathematical error.